This is where we put the words. This is where we put the words.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time, or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today. That would be within the infinite multiplicity of choices you would have, of playing that you weren't God. Because the whole nature...
Hello. This is a live stream on the Grim Grizz channel of YouTube, which apparently I should have the apparently kid as a video clip right here. Apparently, Grail Country has gotten to 1,000 of the subscribers before I have. So congratulations to Grail Country for that. This is the mustard seed Sardaukar stream of the Grim Grizz YouTube channel. I am General Griswold. Hold on. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal of production executives for making this and all my streams possible. Remember, everybody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you. And this is that. Time out. The banner. The brand page. It's on the brand page under overlays. Under overlays.
Do you have anything you want to say in conclusion?
Yeah, I'm not very good at this, but by being not very good at this, it shows you that somebody who tried real hard could do a really great job, and then I can go, oh look, he's doing it, I can do something. Hi everybody, welcome. Welcome, I am General Griswold, Gaius Grim of the 1st LARP Aggression Protocol, and here on our apparently Christmas Eve 2022 live stream, as you saw, Mustard Seed Sardaukar, you get this bonus trivia. This I wear to bind my left hand in remembrance of my sin. Okay, now, there's a whole bunch of comments because I was running stuff for a minute. Let's see, what is this? Red Birdly. A red bird. Is that the official red bird from the Twitter guy? From the Twitter guy? I've been connected to this red bird phenomenon thanks to you, who I haven't seen in a minute. Hey, Anthony Wall. Third wave, good to see you. That was like a JLP Jack in the Box. But it's not like, okay, wait. I gotta tell you, today started great, and this is terrifying. Look at this guy. Cash App is my commercial. You can Cash App me at Grimgriz, by the way, if you want to test it out. Wait. So my day started great today. Because it turns out Paul Van der Clay has done blew himself. And, well, oh yes, this is like I thought this was all the work I was gonna do today. I took today's homeroom and clipped it down to half an hour or so in a good reaping.
We have 3 worlds and 3 strategies. But 2 of the strategies are in the positive world and one's in the negative world, in the neutral world. But what's in the negative world? And the answer is there has not yet been an evangelical strategy to deal with the negative world. The one strategy that's been proposed for the negative world is Rod Dreher.
It's Grimgriz's paintball for fucking Jesus H. What's the H for? This was almost called the Mustard Seed Heresy. FYI. How do you make symbol beads? Well, you find some lady who makes beads and sells how to make beads as a class to suburban ladies. And then you get dragged along and they teach you, and there's 108 because that's the number of the distance between the Earth to the Moon and the Moon to the Sun or something like this, and eclipses are weird, and so there's this fella, and now that we've suffered the loss of the Friday Morning Nameless, I'm going to have to point you to my good man, Johnny D. Jonathan Dumier. And so now I'm going to feed you a bunch of the stuff that he's put in my brain, which speaks for itself, really, if you put it together. However, I haven't given you savings throws yet, Grim. So we're going to have to do that now. If everybody's ready. What is the H for? Hold on. I got to take the blame away. Let's shift the blame a little bit. Belittlement to knowledge compartments for optimal grip engineering. Oh yeah, well, okay. This is the Sardaukar. Okay. Savings throws. Whoa, who's driving this boat? Jesus Heart Christ. Magic, I think we just figured something out. Okay. Savings throws here on the Grim Grizz live streams. I acknowledge the fact that you are constantly subjected to mind control by giving you savings throws against the mind control that follows in the rest of the episode. To participate and gain the savings throw, you choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. Roughly speaking, there's ways to get bonuses, but if it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control in the rest of the episode. This is the time where you choose. Survivalists. It's dark in here. Oh. Constellation number 13. Socialists. 7. If you commented on the last live stream, that's a 10, because the bonus. Wisdom, folks, lovers of wisdom, Sophia's friends. Like the number of disciples, 12, and heart. Heart is 5, which is interesting. Interesting, the 5 heart thing, because just moments ago, mere moments ago, I was thinking to myself, Graham, if you take the lobster monkey manifold, and you get a group of people to play the blind elephant game, which is where the topic is the elephant in the room, and 5 people try to grope it, like the blind men. Anyway, if you take 5 of those, then you have 7 symbols, seven of the astrological signs left. 7 of them, man, 7, and it's been like 7 degrees here. Like anytime the sun was not out for the last 3 days, it's been 7 degrees exactly. Not up or boom, 7 degrees, as if a weather weapon was. What? Bees? You can take that banner off there, bud. Okay. All that rain. Okay, yes, we're doing that, but I'm showing them the mirror. A Gillihan? Oh, look at this. A Gillihan shimmy. I'm also wearing prayer beads on my right wrist. No joke. Do you guess? Yes, for being a person that I've not seen in the chat before, you get +3 today. Yes, I'm already blaming Johnny, but he made all of this stuff. I still have a bee just floating there, waving at people. Did you guys know you can get one of these Shadow Cabal hoodies with Lobster Monkey Goose on it for a whole lot of money because it puts you into Shadow Cabal? Welcome to the Mustard Seed Sardaukar live stream. I am the Grim Grizz. This is Merry Christmas Eves. This is the song Nolan and I wrote together. There's not lyrics yet. There should be lyrics sometime. It is a cool hoodie. Totally, it's a cool hoodie. Oh, look. Wait, no, that's the background. What, did you turn the loop off? No, there it is. Oh, yes, I'm showing you guys a bunch of Dumir. I remember now. And that's why we turned... Oh, and you were going to roll the die to see, that's why, see. I get back around there. If you see the work of Dumir, it's all pretty short stuff. I don't know why, but he seems to release it in batches of 3, as if it's cool to get 3 notifications. Oh, who's that guy? The Crest of Reality. Well, we can check that one out real quick. But then let's roll the die and see what gets fed to us for a bit.
From what I recall from my last viewing, John was working that the logos is the union between the nomenological and the natural laws and the narrative universe where it meets. Like in my head, it was the Tao, the yin yang symbol. The between them both, the bridge between the two, the union, and that's the logos.
So typically when Peterson talks about the yin and the yang, he talks about the one side being order, culture, the walled city. All of that is one side. And then the other side of the wave, I think of that thing down the center as being like a wave. On the other side of the wave is nature, the unknown, the chaos.
Ooh, can we call it the crest of reality? The wave?
The wave. Yeah,
Okay.
that's an interesting thought because, well, let me walk you through this. He talks about how the best place to be is to have one foot in order, which keeps you stable. And then with the other foot, you step over into the unknown. And over there in the unknown, you can discover treasures that wouldn't be available to you when you're over in order, because order can get stuck. You can get this stuckness over in order. Then I started thinking, but it's the place where the two meet, the boundary there, right? That's where I'm in the now, right here, but in the next moment, I don't know what's going to happen.
That's the funny thing about everything, Gander. Like, if it's a fractal that's in everything, if it's part of a hologram, right? And of course you can use it to represent everything.
I'm going to say something amazing, right? But I'm faced with a field of infinite possibility. I could turn off the computer. I could go play Wordle.
I'm sorry to hear you're on that with everybody else. But I understand.
But anyway, back to now and the future. The future is always unknown, right? So in a sense, that what did you call it? The crest of reality?
Crest of reality.
Is always between the known and the unknown. There's another way in which that edge is the whole idea of creativity, because that's where creativity lives, is right there in between the known and the unknown. And I also think that that's where love lives, and that's where reality lives, is right there on that cusp. You know, like my husband will say, somebody needs to hit me upside the head with a...
Kurt, we don't advocate for violence. It's always, anytime you hear violence here, it's metaphorical, friends. It's metaphorical. All the and any.
board because I need to come into alignment with reality. So we're moving along, and then we kind of get, oh, that's the way it works, right? You know, and then we kind of line up with reality. So we have two choices when that happens. We can either say, no, I don't like reality. I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to keep going down the road I was going down. Or we can say, oh, yes, reality is better than where I was before. It's better to be in reality and to be living this way. Here we're talking about the nature.
Lady, have you met reality? Okay, all right, so the story goes, I woke up this morning. I don't know how I got there, but it came to making the tweet time. It came time to tweet, and I got past the Paul Vanderklee with a 1-2 punch on the whole market issue, right? It was like, all right, so what happens if a side effect of the booster is it turns your skin Navi avatar blue, right? Like what? Writer, write me a story. Go. What happens? What happens if a side effect of it turns everybody's skin blue? And old Pastor Paul, he thought he'd be funny. He says, aha, Graham, well, do I get the tail too? Do I get the tail too? And I said, first I said, What? Look, you have a blue check mark. It's so appropriate that this is the tweet. I discover you have a blue check mark. You've done blown yourself. I didn't say. You've done blown yourself. I didn't. You've done blown. Okay, and then I got him with the whole. No, you don't get a tail. But if you take another booster, you can get the neurolace hair, and you got to deny Christ or something. I don't remember. I don't remember. It's true. It's true. Do you see Tobias Fink in your head right now? Has your development been arrested, Peter Pan? Do you see Tobias Fink in your head right now? Have you done blowing yourself blue? Well, we'll say save versus turning blue. Bonus rolls. Choose. That's survivalist. You gotta trust me. No, you don't. What the hell? That's a 9. Socialists with a 10. Sophists with a 5. And hard folks also with a 5. 5 against 1, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1.
Nature of sin itself. Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Bottom of a bottle sometimes.
Yeah. Or ice cream, or,
Pat on the back from some nice guy on the internet.
Yes. That's it, exactly.
Lots of wrong places.
So,
Made me think of the notion I have that the human spine is some kind of antenna, and that should we live clean lives, we can actually feel the love of God and that sense of self-worth and stuff, and that as we live in sin the way we do, our antenna gets dirty and it actually cuts us off from feeling the love of God within us.
What the heck kind of BS is this guy putting out on the internet? Boy, wow. What else do we got? We got all right. Let's see, how many videos from the top? This one's for the survivalists. It's a very die-rolly Christmas Eve show. Also a 9. Number 9 on the Doomir top-down playlist. The lunar nodes. Why eclipses are rare. There appears to be a new moon and a full moon. Based on where the light is coming from the sun. There's some weird symbolism I don't understand now. And then there's the other side of that symbolism. Every 18.6 years. That's weird because there's that thing in the thing that's 18 days. Shh. There's a penumbra. Somewhere in this diagram, ladies and gentlemen, is a penumbra. I promise. There's what, another 30 seconds to explain things. You get that? No, but that might help you survive. It's interesting to me though, because check this out. There's things from clips I've seen that I can't be arsed to dig up, but they're out there. And one of them is like, I don't know where it came from, but like there was this map of the United States memes, and like, here, give me the background music. Here, take some Lofi. Is it? What? Oh. welcome to the Mustard Seed Sardaukar Christmas Eve Grimgris live stream on YouTube. Our most sincere, heartfelt, and warm, tingly thanks to the Shadow Cabal of production executives. Without this, none of the Virtually Not Alone Network stuff I do would be possible. Hey, everybody. Remember, embody. There is no agency. We want what's best for you. For you. Welcome. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. More than you were 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago. I are visionary. I am the only one that... Oh. I'm wearing both socks. Oh. I understand that. Okay, the meme thing I was seeing with the eclipse. Okay. So, it's just this picture of the United States, and it's got like roughly the area of Tennessee, right? And it's like, the person that'll save the country will come from here. And I was like, alright. And then, there was this weird conspiracy video I saw. And that was like a really hard sell because it was about the year 2015. Right, but I actually ended up including it okay, so what happened was, there's this thread. But I have clips of, well, you gotta show them, bro. But I have clipsophrenia, so I had to interrupt myself sometimes, and it made the thread wonky. You may see a shortened version. There's 30 or so of the various clips from today's homeroom. But like I said, I have the clipsophrenia, and so some of them have a bonus reply. You see, like, what is Five Eyes? And this is why I think it's gonna be weird when I bribe Twitter to make me blue and see what happens next year, apparently. Okay, here's another one. Oh, right, that one. One of these is a Gaga one from the 2015 thing, because the light, the year, and you should just play some Demir while you find it. Right. Here's the rest of that watch. Oh, here's the watch from the front, all over, from the start. Taking it from the top, the Allen Watts. This is very Mustard Seed, actually. This is like, okay, just remember Mustard Seed when you hear this. Thanks,
Let's
Johnny.
suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time, or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today. That would be within the infinite multiplicity of choices you would have, of playing that you weren't God. because the whole nature of the Godhead, according to this idea, is to play that he's not. The first thing he says to himself is, man, get lost. Because he gives himself away. The nature of love is self-abandonment, not clinging to oneself. Throwing yourself out, as in, for example, in
Look how is here, everybody. Bonus social. Bonus social. Bonus social savings throw. Wow! 16. A nice 16. Thanks, Raquel. Oh.
basketball, you're always getting rid of the ball. You say to the other fellow, have a ball. See? And that keeps things moving. That's the nature of life. So in this idea then, everybody is fundamentally the ultimate reality. Not God in a politically kingly sense, but God in the sense of being the self, the deep down basic whatever there is. And you're all.
Sally, Joe M. Cooper, you take your shoulds and get them right in. You can put them in the box you're cleaning your room with your shoulds. Happy Merry Christmas Eve from me and the Lobster Monkeys. I speak for the krill. Bart, you know too much. You know too much, Bart. I had to interrupt because the mustard seed start from a tear. I don't know what a tear is. So, hive mind. Can you answer that for me? I don't know. Merry Christmas! I'm in Pacific, Sally. WTF. You judgmental with your save for Sally shooting. No. But what was Raquel's bonus was a 16, right? Was it 16? So 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. Whoo! 15 would have been trauma. But instead, we get eroticism. Enjoy.
Well, for sure, in the Sufi mystics, people read their poetry, and they often think it's great, kind of erotic or sensual poetry. But most of the time, they're talking about God. Like most of the time, that's what they're talking about. Like,
Sure.
They're kind of, and you see that in Dante as well. Like where, and this is the idea of sublimating. I mean, people degrade the idea of sublimating, but I think it's actually an interesting possibility, which is that we have in us these erotic.
What? Did you hear what this man just said? People have been like downgrading the importance of sublimation.
They're kind of sublimating. I mean, people degrade the idea of sublimating, but
Who, Jonathan? You tell me who's been degrading the idea of sublimating. You point me at that mother.
I think it's actually an interesting possibility, which is that we have in us these erotic power, this erotic energy, and that if it's directed, then it reaches its full potential. And there are different levels of direction. So it's like the idea that if you direct your love towards one person, then it concentrates and it becomes deeper and it actually yields greater goods. But that ultimately that ends up bringing you into something transcendent, and the possibility that the highest form of eros is directed towards God Himself. You see that in the mystics, both in Dante and in the Sufi mystics, where they actually transform their energy into something higher. And it's something like for a lot of the young guys, it feels like nobody's talking about that with them, and I even like I tell a lot of these young guys, like, this sexual energy that you have, it can be directed.
Sure.
It's like the sexual energy you have, it's actually that which you can use to do good in the world, that you can
Yep. Social sex. I get it, man. If I was on Aubrey Marcus, I'd be talking about sexual energy too. Okay. A regular attack from magic.
Also, like, even accomplish.
A regular attack pushes us back to the die rolling board. I think we're going to have to move on to rolling 2 die at a time now, just to make sure we don't land on a previously watched clip. So, let's see here. What do you guys think? We just did one for social. Let's see what let's combine heart and wisdom. All right, we'll do a combination of heart and wisdom and see what Dumir gives us. Ready, set. It's kind of like the I Ching, right? Okay, the heart here is all 4 chambers, and the wisdom is 12. So that's number 16 again. I guess we need to finish watching it. Sorry. I tried to. But I guess the end's important.
Friend. But yeah, no, he's talking to God, and God as his girlfriend in every gust of wind, in every flap of his, robe, in every glass of wine, and so he's actually found a way to channel this, erotic impulse into the whole world, and that's allowed him the apparent transcendence. And of course, we didn't know him. He could have been a curmudgeon who was just great at poetry. But I imagine that it was authentic through and through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I mentioned Dante before, but you see that explicitly in Dante, because he starts he starts with poetry, right? He starts with Virgil. It's like Virgil is the thing that draws him into the language of love. It's as if he perceived the possibility of love and eros in Virgil and Virgil's poetry. But then that leads him to an actual person, right? Beatrice. But his love for Beatrice is not fulfilled. Like it's stunted. He doesn't get anywhere like with her. And so that love gets carried up into higher versions until he encounters the Virgin as, let's say, the ultimate vision of the feminine, and the ultimate thing that his love of Beatrice was driving him towards, and then that opens the door up into the Trinity itself. And so, yeah, definitely, I think that this is something that many of them.
Yeah, definitely, because that means that your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. I say your love is lifting me. Okay, mustard seed Sardaukar. Let's spit it out and stop the stream, Grim. We can do it. Because, remember, everybody, there is no agency. It's just us LARPing. We want what's best for you. We work for the agency. You see, I want to increase your capacity to care. Because I have a bunch of shit for you to care about, but look at you. You're almost overwhelmed. So here, we're all in this together. We'll solve our problems. And then as our capacity to care increases, we'll start dealing with all these other fucking dragons, okay? Okay. So, the mustard seed Sardaukar goes a little like this. It's like, I was gonna tweet something. I try to tweet a lot. And I almost did, and I was like, wait, no, that's stupid. And the thing I almost tweeted that was stupid was like, do they not even read 1984 in high schools anymore? And like, oh yes, because if they did, then but no. Probably, right? Who knows? Nobody pays attention to what they're teaching the children. But assuming they do still teach 1984 in the high schools, the more terrifying thing is that they read it and they don't read it as a dystopian horror. They're like, okay, so this is how we're supposed to be loyal to the party. I mean, they look how, because without doing a sufficient amount of reading, you have a stunted empathy, and you don't put yourself in the position. And so, like, if you can read, you can read 1984 and come out still woke, is the thing. And that was, and it like bounced off of this whole negative world, like where whether the world is negative or positive is based on the public opinion of Christianity, or publicly perceived Christianity, or the amount of whether it's of social benefit to an individual to be perceived as a Christian. And if yes, that's positive. If no, that's negative. We're now in the negative world. Similarly, if like as that worldview reads 1984, it goes from a dystopian horror to this is how to get by in this is how to get by. This is how to obey. This is how to be loyal. But this is called the Mustard Seed Sardaukar Christmas Eve stream, Grim. I know, we're gonna get there. I promise we'll get there. We're gonna have to probably lean on some more Dumir, but let's catch up with we're gonna jump on we're doing it to survive Dumir, and then if it's 16 again, I swear to Christ, I will. Look where we're at right now, everybody. I will fast for 3 days. Otherwise, we'll play the next Demir and see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, honest to goodness, this die roll is saved by a skepit, please. It's a 13, not a 16. I get to eat. Whoo! 13 is 3, 6, 9. Damn girl, fine. Sock it to me one more time. Get low. Get low! Get low.
There's certain subjects that I blocked from discussing because I didn't feel comfortable. What's in my book is what I felt really, really comfortable with. And the rest, I kind of just said, I'm going to keep working on. And that's what I've been doing. And I found a lot of things recently, actually. A different way of understanding. There's lots of things that are in the Bible that nobody can see, which is interesting. There's a lot of things, like there's many places in the Bible that God changes his mind. This is something not a lot of people want to see. Like God wants to do something, and then somebody convinces God to change his mind, and then God changes his mind. So that kind of goes against a lot of what people think about God, and goes against a lot of theology, but it's right there in the Bible, many examples. So that's just an example, but there's something in the Bible about not going against God, but it's like challenging God, challenging the law. That's part of the Bible. And there's lots of places in the Bible where it says that. It's kind of weirdly, it's ignored by most people. I don't know why, but it's very important. It's kind of what I'm starting to understand now. There's a whole part of the Bible that's about, it gives the tools for renewing the Bible, renewing the law without contradicting it. That's important. And then there's lots of hints about that in the Bible. But you don't want to contradict the law, but you want to renew it. And that's also important. There's a verse in, I think it's Joshua. I could find it. I could send it to you later if you want. I don't know by heart. I'm not someone who learns.
Hey Graham, who's that guy on the screen? Well, first you have to blame Dumir, because I'm showcasing the work of a Jonathan Dumir, mainly because once upon a time, if the dice will reveal it, he did my Muggle lie as one of these, and it touched my heart. It touched my heart. This guy. This is Jonathan Pageau's brother. You remember Jonathan Pageau? He's the guy who decided to call a black magician his nemesis. You remember?
Comics is something that I've been kind of diving into.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
We're working on a comic
awesome.
now. I mean, I'm not the artist. It's someone else. But I wrote it with my brother, and so yeah, I'm excited to see. I think the potential of comics is really great for someone who's interested in symbolism, and it's been taken by the dark side, I would say. You've got people like Alan Moore.
Remember, everybody. There is just remember. He called him his nemesis, and this is his brother who also did it. And good news is, I think I got in his head early, because he's like, give me topics to make videos on, and I said, dude, there's this one line in the Bible about follow the water bearer that all the astrologist people wig out about because the water bearer. Could you straighten that out symbolically? Anyway, he's got his own channel. He's literally, his book is canon in the corner, so you should probably find it and watch him if you're one of the corner people. And if one of the corner people is a weird word, it's this might help if you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. And good Lord, look how god awful the adversary has made your sorting your own clips out. Sweet. It's just, here's all of them. Here's fucking all of them you've ever made in order chronologically. Look, somebody deleted progressively farming populism. That must be a clip from a deleted video. Right. Okay, anyway, it was before all this shit, and then, here it is. Sorry.
Well, no, not exactly. Gosh, what is this browser doing? Trust the facts.
No, it's not even this one, Grim, you son of a... That's just the one that both you and Lynn clipped. Oh, this guy, folks. Get saved today. Do you remember the point you were at when you started this? No, I don't. This one. No, not visit
Part of
stream.
why we're failing is not just because we don't have the adequate technology or something like that, but we might have the part of why we're failing is not just because we don't have the adequate technology or something like that, but we might have the fundamentally wrong epistemological framework that precludes us from looking in the right way.
And I think it's right there in the question of the framework where we can, that's exactly where the contribution of this little corner, thank you, Sevilla, where is she?
Right there.
There she is. Thank you, Sevilla, who gave us that. It's there that I think we can bring to the village a conversation of intelligibility. Because all of this question of, well, why did you talk about us leaving a spirit in Thunder Bay?
Because you work with demons. No, so it's frame. We're building the corner is an optometry shop where you get to try on all sorts of weird glasses, especially if you stop by the Grim Grays live stream for streams like the Mustard Seed Sardaukar. I'd like to solve the puzzle, Alex. So would I. It's getting better every day. It's getting better every day. His book has diagrams. His book, Matt, he's referring to this Matthew Paget. Matthew Pachu.
I know the Bible almost by heart in my mind, but it's not. I don't use like Exodus 5:3 or something. I don't use those numbers. That doesn't really exist in my mind. I follow that story. But there's a place where it says, "Follow the law and ruminate on the law." So there's like two parts, and that's in the book of Joshua. I could send it to you after if you want. But so it's like follow the law and then ruminate. And the word used for ruminate, it means a lot of things. It means things like complain about it. And it's also, I think the word also actually means something like make songs about it. So you see, that's very interesting. So there's the two aspects. There's an aspect of you got to follow the law, but you also got to like question it and think.
Oh yeah, what? I have frames on the dead laptop. Oh yeah. That's true. They're also in Discord, Graham. They're also in Discord, but it's interesting. We're talking about frames. What? Who's complaining? What, Pet Cow? Do you have a complaint to report? You report a complaint. What is this? My dudes, this guy is pure revelation. Revelation 4:13. Revelation 4:13.
About it.
Okay. But first, that thing you were looking for. Her name is Columbia. Oh, I guess you might have been able to put that together there, but it's hard to remember. Shut up. Just go. Let's keep the next one. What? Where's it? Where's the other one? You son of a. Back is supposed to do one thing. One thing. Oh, there it is. There, this one. I'm pretty sure they're shouting the word vagina there. Now you might say, now Graham, what about this clip? The emerging moral order made you think of, or why did you want to? I don't know. Just play it, okay?
It's continuing to fracture. So sort of the moral agreements that there were in the United States, that's continuing to fracture.
And entered what I call the negative world, where for the first time in the 400-year history of America,
okay, I remember now. Thank you, Aaron. As Aaron Wren. Wren's a cool name, but he doesn't spell it with a W. It's a R-E-N without a W. If I like how I get a little bit of background if I leave that up there. Yeah, you like that? Well, go back to that's a good one. All right, let's roll the dice. I need. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll tell you when I get back. Remind me to explain the Gaga thing when I get back. Meanwhile, we're going to do a big four, diving deep into the work of Jonathan Dumire. And if you haven't had savings throws because you got here late, you can choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. If it's over 10, you get half damage from the mind control that follows the rest of the show. Choose! And I'll add them up and make it Dumire. The wisdom fell out, but it's 15. Remember, embody. 14 for survivalists. Ooh, nat 1 for the social people. Go be with your family. WTF. 15, it's 30. And 15, like I said, for wisdom. And heart, folks, with a 16. So that brings us to Dumire, 46. And then you can go smoke, Grim. Okay, Dumire 46, ladies and gentlemen, is 369, 369, 369. Okay, that's what, 3 nines? 3 nines. What's 3 nines, guys? 27s. So that'd be 30s. And that'd be 45. 46, a guided meditation for 15 minutes, bro. Bro. Cause see that the social was a nat 1. So here, just have a stock market for sanity, which, as you can see, has 44 views from 4 months ago, without the social nat 1.
The reason that you're sane as a fully functional and autonomous human being isn't because you've organized your psyche, even though that's important. The reason that you're sane if you have a well-organized unconscious and ego is because other people can tolerate having you around for reasonably extensive periods of time and will cuff you across the back of the head every time you do something so stupid that people will dislike you permanently if you continue. And so what people are doing to each other all the time, just non-stop, is broadcasting sanity signals back and forth, right? It's like you smile at people if they're not only behaving properly, but behaving in a way that you would like to see them continue to behave. You frown at them if they're not, you ignore them if they're not, you shun them, you roll your eyes at them, you manifest a disgust face, you don't listen to them, you interrupt them, you won't cooperate with them, you won't compete with them. It's like you're blasting signals at other people about how to regulate their behavior so frequently, well, it just makes up all of the social interaction. That's why we face each other and we have emotional displays on our face and we're looking at each other's eyes. We know as much as we can about what's going on with each other, given that we don't have immediate access to the contents of their consciousness. And so partly what you're doing with your routine is establishing yourself as a credible, reliable, trustworthy, potentially interesting human being who isn't going to do anything too erratic at any moment. And everyone else is around there tapping you into shape, making sure that that's exactly what you are. And that's how you stay sane. And so what happens to people too, if they don't have a routine and they get isolated, is they start to drift. And they drift badly because the world is too complicated for you to keep it organized all by yourself. You just cannot do it. So we outsource the problem of sanity. And it's very intelligent that we outsource the problem of sanity because sanity is an impossibly complex problem. And so the way that we manage the incredibly complex problem is we have a very large number of brains working simultaneously on the problem all the time. It's like a stock market for sanity. And it's partly, and I use that definition with purpose because the stock market does the same kind of impossible thing, right? Because it tries to price things, which is impossible. How many things are there? Like 1 billion. How in the world do you decide what the price is? You can't decide what the price is. That's why you have a stock market. Well, in a free market, I mean, for consumer goods. Is everyone's voting on what the price of everything is all the time. And that's the way we figure it out because it's technically impossible. That's partly why the stock market explodes now and then and there's bubbles and all that sort of thing. But anyways,
apparently that's the amount of nicotine you get. Okay, hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. This is the finish it out, Graham. You can do this. Yes, I can. Remember, everybody. Welcome to the Virtually Not Alone Network. I am General Griswold Gaius Grimm. Anybody can be in the Virtually Not Alone Network. However, if you find somebody claiming to be in the Virtually Not Alone Network who does not make you feel at all less alone, you are supposed to throw poo at them metaphorically, always metaphorical, until they stop using it. And if at some point I make you feel more alone, then go away. I mean, you know what I mean? It's got to be social shame is the only way that the Virtually Not Alone Network can honestly encompass everybody, because it's gotta be, yes, they provide the feeling of I'm less alone. I feel less alone when I interface with them, and then they can be in the network. Oh, and if you like, share, and subscribe, I might make it to 1,000 and have the channel pulled for all the stuff. Boy, see, I'm writing this new piece. I'm writing this new piece on the Substack over here, and my dog Jake, about a half a block, and I go, whoo, doggy. I go like deep into stuff I shouldn't. I mean, personal stuff, and it's really been like, it's really been making me want to curl up into a ball and not be on a live stream. I didn't think I'd manage this whole Christmas thing at all because of it, and it's a deep, dark digging through, but most of it, frankly, is still quite observable if I decide to make it so, because as you can see here, right, as you can see now, if I sort my live streams by the date, I can, no, that's it, wrong, other way, there you go. If I start, oh, look at that. Like, look at all this. I get to walk through, like, so much of what brought me to here today. And I don't know, man, it makes it hard to, there's going back into your old roots and seeing, oh man, what was it? 16 and 4. 16 for wisdom, 4 for hearts, 20. 18 for social is 38. And, man, survival's dark. 2 survival is 40. Thanks, Jordan. Go give John's only got 222 on the subs, so if you guys want to head over there, it's at JDMWTV is his fancy YouTube new handle thing, and here's the link for everybody. I'll catch up on the chat in a moment. Are you leaving, Bart? Anybody who's leaving, I'll miss you. I'm sorry. What? How do you Yas Queen and still feel alone? That's as close as it gets. The Yas Queen. If you're Yas Queening, you've gotten some Virtually Not Aloneness, unless you just Yas Queen at your house by yourself all the time. Like, not when you're watching. But 40? It was 40. Okay, 40. 40. 3, 6, wait, 9, and then 9, and then 9, and then 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we opened with that one, dude. I fucking opened with it. I'll do this one. All right. Oh, and then when I get back, guys, really, I should just leave it here so I find it. When I get back, we're gonna do that part.
He asks for forgiveness because he's going to relate to us something called a myth, or a myth made flesh, which is an extremely long excerpt from the Gospel of John, which I'll read in full. And I haven't posted it on the slide because it must be the author's own translation because I can't find it. So I'll read from the book the full excerpt, which is sort of needed to expand later on, and it is quite long. So, when the Father had accomplished his work on the seventh day of creation that he had made through his word, he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had made. And the Father blessed the seventh day, and he sanctified it, because on this day he rested from all his work that he had created. Thus the seventh day is blessed and sanctified, because it is the day not of the world and of the movement of the world, but rather of the Father himself alone. It is the seventh part of the circle of movement of the world, when he withdraws and becomes immobile and silent. Thus it was that the circle of movement of the world was not closed, but remained open. And the seventh day was sanctified and blessed as the open part of the circle of the movement of the world, in such a way that the beings of the world had access to the Father, and the Father had access to them. But the
I almost wish I almost wish I could hear that, which I could probably do if I turned the speakers up. Oh, welcome, Stumps. Let's see. Can anybody be an officer in the first LARP ingression protocol? If their mustard seed allows. If their mustard seed allows. Who watches this channel and also leaves the house? Hey, now, there's what? Now, remember, Embody. There is no agency. But there are creepy people on the internet that ask you for too much information. Such as whether or not you leave your house. That's none of your business, sir. It's none of your business whether or not people leave the house. Now see, look, Stumps has volunteered a confession because of that question. Be careful out there. That's why there's savings throws. That's why there's savings throws. Okay, is it you, Bart? Is it you that keeps guessing things?
serpent said, "There is no freedom for the world, insofar as the circle of the world is not closed, because freedom is to be in oneself, without interference from outside, especially from above on the part of the Father. The world will always follow the will of the Father and not its own, insofar as there is an opening in the circle of the world, insofar as the Sabbath exists. And the serpent took his tail in his mouth and thus formed the closed circle. He turned himself with great force and thus created in the world a great swirl which caught hold of Adam and Eve. And the other beings upon whom Adam had impressed the names and he gave them followed them. And the serpent said to the beings of the world, moving on this side of the closed circle that he formed by taking his tail in his mouth and setting himself in rotation, "Here is your way. You will commence by my tail and you will arrive at my head. Then you will have traversed the length of the circle of my being, and you will have within you the entire closed circle, and thus you will be free as I am free." But woman guarded the memory of the world opened towards the Father and the holy Sabbath, and she offered herself for the rending of the closed circle in herself in order to give birth to children issuing from the world beyond it, and from the world where there is the Sabbath. Thus originated the suffering of the pregnancy, and thus originated sorrow on this side of the world of the serpent. And hostility came between woman and the serpent, between the generations of woman giving birth with pain and the generations of the serpent giving birth with pleasure. The former will crush the head of the serpent, and the serpent will wound the heel of the woman. For woman moves in a contrary sense to the movement of the serpent, and her head reaches to the tail of the serpent, and her heels touch the head of the serpent. This is because in the world, which is in the current of the serpent, suffering is its counter-movement. It was through the counter-movement of
Ladies, in case you haven't ever met him, this is Rascal. He's not Lobster Monkey Goose, he's Lobster Monkey Rascal. He actually got a claw in the hybridization process. I have him, he generally guards this instrument here, which I'm going to do this special fancy thing. Doing a special fancy thing for the Christmas Eve. And it goes like this. No, they don't get another one, rascal. That's how we do. That's how we do, sir. Just hold the stick. Just hold it. Put your hat on. This is a formal occasion. Okay. Ah! Sorry.
Do you have anything you want to say in conclusion?
Well, yeah, dude. I haven't even done the mustard seed Sardaukar part yet. Oh, let's check with chat, though, right? I've never heard an Ouroboros described that way. I've never heard... That's how life gets one over on entropy. It eats itself. Like that whole tool thing about the carrots. This is necessary. That reminds me, in case you want to feel the joy of giving me something, there's been a gift that's been sent to me, and I think it's because of this virtually not alone stuff which you're part of. So, it's kind of for you to enjoy as well, and it came in the official Amazon box. And so far, it looks like this. We'll see what the next part is momentarily. Hold on. But first, here's... Oh, it's a nat 20, but I didn't roll it. Number 18? Have we done 18?
But it was to save my own life. Like it was.
Yes.
It was like So you come to a point where it's like, all right. And my brother had the same moment that I did. Was like, okay, there are two options here. Either I chuck this out the window, and that's it, or I better understand this. And it was like, okay, let's give it all we can. Let's give it all we can. And I think I'm grateful that it turned out the way it did, but it was that crisis moment where it's like, and I understand it and I feel it because I know a lot of people had that moment in their life where they're like, okay, well, this makes no sense, chuck it, and one of the reasons why I talk is because I know that feeling and I sympathize with it. It's like I get it, I understand that sense when you're like 20 years old. You're going to university, and you remember all the things people told you, and you're like, okay, this guy dies on a cross because of something my ancestors did, and now if I believe that, I go to heaven. Sorry. No, man. Sorry. That's meaningless. It's completely meaningless. And I get it. So, because I had that moment, like, no, I better make sense of this, or else, seriously, this is not going to work. But luckily, I think, and then coming out of it, I'm like...
luckily to a Calvinist.
Through the grace of God, through divine providence, I found, coming out of the other side in a way stronger. I told this story, maybe some people have heard it, but there's a moment that I hold on to. It was when I was about 21. And I was still I was shaky in the sense that I was like, what am I doing with this? And I was living with a guy, and he had a friend, and she was teaching philosophy at the local college. And one time she came up to me and she's like, I had this guy in my class, he grew up Catholic, and he's telling me that it's all nonsense. He wants to chuck it out the window, like all this Jesus Mary stuff, complete nonsense. And she looked at me and she said, I hate to see this. What should I tell him? I had no answer.
Hi. If you decide that you'd like to send me some Kama Sutra stuff, give me some kind of disclaimer not to open it on air. Okay? Okay.
Like I had no answer because she was like, it's all scientifically, it makes no sense. None of it makes sense. It's all, I think I gestured to some creationist thing or whatever. And I forget, it was just an empty gesture. And I hold on to that because it's like, I feel like I'm talking to that lady, all the time. It's like I wish I could go back and have that moment with her where it's like, you know what? I think I can explain it in a way that you can understand. Yeah.
All right, guys. We have a very, very pertinent question for those of you still here that are involved with the reaping and the hive mind and such. Stump says, I saw a thingy. I thought about reaping it, but I don't know if you want. What I want is what you think we might want. You bring it to us, and then whatever happens. Like if people value it and they put emojis on it. Like I'm trying to work a way to do crypto tokens and gamification of the Discord participation at some point. But meanwhile, like if somebody puts a clip and it's a survival clip, you can give them, as a community member, a bonus to their savings throw with the Discord emojis. And so ideally the feedback loop system will start, and this is all going to be beautifully covered in when I go over the Vervaeke thing. And I'm going to pull out like the mapping us to the brain part, and then I'm going to go into the some of the whatever, the beholder modeling thing, like that video, different parts of it, and we'll go into all of that. But today I'd like to solve the puzzle of the mustard seed Sardaukar. Remember, embody, there is no agency. Any old gent can see that doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. I don't know. Is it chanty? I remembered it though, so there's that. Words. Okay, I'd like to solve the puzzle of the mustard seed Sardaukar. Okay, well, first, I recently talked to John Vervaeke, and as you know, I'll tell you. The reason I knew that would eventually, like, it was on the table of possibility that would ever happen is because of the word grok. He used the word grok, which, like, flagged him as a person who has also read the book in which grok is popularized. And that is A Stranger in the Strange Land. And, like, I think anybody who has become, or at least half of anybody who has become a half sibling or comes from any sort of broken home can probably identify with that book. And the word grok means to understand so well you can cause it to cease to exist. It's amazing. It's as if your faith of your mustard seed could be applied to the non-existence of something, as if there were some kind of mustard seed blanket belief that demons are real, I don't believe demons are real, that you could put your faith in, that would make it seem like it would make your brain ignore any evidence of demonic activity around you, because otherwise it would shatter your free will blanket belief that I don't know, what is the cosmology? There's nothing but everything. There's everything and then bang, but everything was really small once. I don't know what the cosmology behind it really is, but that's I said a lot of the mustard seed part I wanted to right there, but the Sardaukar part is sort of my cosmology. Is like assuming the greatest intelligence designed the system I'm in, like regardless of how the immediate layers above me might be incompetent or evil or cruel, yada yada yada. Okay, so what if you're a god with amnesia and the things you don't know you believe manifest in material reality? And before we let you go someplace dangerous without like fully having trained your understanding of the power of your own belief, even if you don't know you believe it, until you learn that, until you're hardcore master of your own shadow faith mustard seed, you recycle in this Sardaukar training camp for and like part of like coming into it, you just got to do it over and over again so you get amnesia you don't feel the, I don't know, that's the whole but that's mustard seed Sardaukar. Any questions? Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal of production executives that made this all possible. It was really all triggered by that. It was really all triggered by that. How could you read 1984 and not, right? Because how much faith you put in, like the worldview of, like what I think of people. My unseen mustard seed gestalt of what the world is like means that when I read 1984, I see like, oh no, it's a terrible dystopia. But there's people with different worldviews. Whoa, that's what you got out of that book? Holy smokes, we're in for a hard time. So, here's one more Demir. We'll do it, wisdom and survival. 11 wisdom. And 15 survival is 26. Jonathan Demir, number 26. The 9 and 2 is 20. And 6 makes it, 20. 1, 4, 6. Huh?
Metanoia is his first word. We say repent, but it means go beyond the mind you have. That's what it means literally. So nous is mind, meta's beyond. So he's saying go beyond the mind. And so the mind that we all get stuck in is this one, fill up the ego with all these things. You got to get beyond that mind. And as you put it, reach out, because the central theme of the Bible, you could say, Old Testament and New, is trust in the Lord. Because our word for that would be faith, And before that means something more cognitive, it means something more visceral. It means...
Oh, something more visceral, you say, Bishop Barron. Well, it's fun that you say something more visceral, because look who showed up in my chat. Look at this. Hey, I'm Aaron B. Aragwin, fellows. He goes on other people's channels saying he thinks my D&D shit is cringe. That's what he says on other people's channels. This motherfucker right here. Get behind me, Satan! You adversarial accuser!
Trust. Let go, as you say, let go of all that old thing. Let go of that old self, which has made you miserable, right?
When I turned to Alex and would say, I love you, it felt like God. This is really which really is God for me, art isn't God for me, which is where I used to come from.
Yeah.
Art, love, and God being synonymous, but God and love are still synonymous for me. And the more loving that I am, the more I feel closer to God.
Well, that's what God is, right? So
So
I mean,
when
art reflects him.
Yes.
You know, the true, the good, the beautiful all reflect him. But what he is love, and love is willing the good of the other. So that when you do that, you are in the presence of God. I mean, the divine life is surging through you when you truly will the good of the other, which is a very, very rare thing. You know, because we're so tainted by our ego that even as I think I'm willing that person's good, but probably there's a lot of because I'll get something out of it,
Yeah.
right? That's why those moments of when you can return to another human being and say, "I love you," or demonstrate that. That's a rare thing. That means God is in you, right? Now, give that
Yes.
away. Keep giving that away, and you get more of it. You get more of it, and that's the saints live in that place. But
Which is difficult on a film set.
Yeah, man.
When the camera is on you.
Right.
It's so easy to get lost in ego when the camera is on you.
Right.
It takes extraordinary effort to get out. I mean, forget the camera for a second. I wake up in it. My left is my left, my right is my right. You are in front of me. You know, it takes extraordinary effort and it takes real work to get to another perspective. If I don't have a higher power, if I don't have God, you know, if I don't have freedom, doesn't feel good with no structure. You know, if somebody stripped me naked and threw me in the ocean, it wouldn't feel good. I'd be free, but I wouldn't enjoy it. This has given me structure to be able to enjoy my freedom. To be able to, it's given me purpose. The structure of it. I need the structure of it.
Bob Dylan, freedom just around the corner from you, but with truth so far off.
Oh my God. I don't, come here. Oh, dude. Bishop, do me a favor. Go half a day without saying Bob Dylan. All right? Just fucking do that for me, would you? Look, I can hold you like this now. Okay, so. Oh, look, there's the topic board. I can't get. I gotta set shit up and point it over here, but I wanted to give you guys a Christmas present. And so the Christmas present is the storyboard for Paintball for Jesus. I don't want to have to deal with what you're seeing while I give you the storyboard for Paintball for Jesus. So, let's see. Give me some background music. Yes, our song. That's fine. It's real quiet in the back of their brains. Yeah, use the 22 frequency. Okay. Let's see. What you guys? I can show you various. Let's see. Wait. No, because if I remove myself, then it gets muted and they can't hear a damn thing. Oh, well. All right, I don't care. Here, behold this. So here's the present part. Here's the present. The storyboard goes like this, right? The first scene is like the mama lady. The dad comes home from work and the ma says, "Hey, dude, it's about time for the kid." And he's like, "All right." And so he goes and he pitches it to the kid that he's gonna go to camp for the paintball. He's gonna go to paintball camp, and the kid's like, "Hey, can I bring my poor friend?" And then we do a little character piece on the poor friend, and they end up at the paintball. And then at the paintball, what ends up happening is the kid with the parents gets sold out by the poor kid, and he gets strung up on the crows, like with a cup though, because they're not assholes. And then everybody shoots him with the paintball. And then they throw him in the cave, or something cave-like. And then a couple of days pass, and there's a part in there where they do the God mask while he's in the cave, and that's this. Like in this Baron interview, LaBouffe says we've lost the initiation ritual, and so this is the paintball for Jesus initiation ritual, except I would never recommend anybody ever do any of this in real life because that would be terribly wrong. And so, and then, I don't know, there's Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And I did the Sardaukar part, I can go now, right? Right, check the comments. Oh, coffee will make me feel better. It's not free, and that comes out of that budget. That budget there. Thank you, Magic. Thank you, Magic. Oh no, we like the trolling. It's fine. Everybody has a role to play. Be yourself until you change. Remember, everybody, we work for the agency. There is no agency. We want what's best for you. Be yourself. Be yourself. Oh, and the thing about the mustard seed Sardaukar is like you might subconsciously believe that this is a terrible, terrible hellhole. And just in case, I gotta say, if that's what you're using your mustard seed for, you might be fucking us all. If you believed it was getting better, like, it's getting better every day. If you just drum that shit into your subconscious until you believe it without knowing it, maybe it will. Goodbye, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. God bless you. Go to Mass. Go. I don't care if I don't care. Hey, wait. Just do it. Go to Mass so that, like, everybody else on the planet can think, oh, at least one more person cares. At least there's still that much more hope in the world. Just go be an NPC in the fucking pew. Sorry.